Today on Football Analysed, the Champions League final is right around the corner, and this year's edition is cooking up some incredible drama, emotions and determination. For Borussia Dortmund, Marco Reus will have his final chance to crown his career after countless heartbreaks. The 2014 World Cup, where he was injured for its entirety, the 2013 Champions League final, where Bayern snatched it from right under Dortmund's noses in the 88th minute. After all this, 11 years later, he will have the chance to reap the rewards of his loyalty and lift the Champions League with BVB. On the other side of the spectrum, Real Madrid have possibly the most incredible, exciting and future-proof team in the world. Vinicius Jr., Bellingham, Camavinga, Brahim, the list goes on. The assumption that a 15th UCL trophy won't mean anything to them is completely incorrect. Madrid legends like Reus and Modric will also have the chance to finish on an unparalleled high and win their 6th Champions League with the club. But above all of this will be Real Madrid's chance to establish themselves as the team of the future, the team nobody will beat for years to come. But who will win the Champions League? Real Madrid are obviously the favourites, but it is never that simple. These are Champions League final predictions with Football Analysed. Firstly, how will these two sides line up? Borussia Dortmund have stuck with two primary formations this year. Firstly, the 4-3-3. This allows for classic build-up and familiarity. The players know exactly what to do. Dortmund will look to use players like Sancho and Adeyemi to widen the pitch and create space in the midfield, where Reus, Can and Sabitzer can thrive and create opportunities for the clinical Nicholas Füllkrug. The other formation often deployed by the black and yellow is the 4-2-3-1. This has been used in most of their Champions League games this year. Here, Dortmund will look to punish teams with faster build-up and the release of Füllkrug behind opposition defenders rather than in front of them looking for a shot or cutback. In my opinion, seeing this as the Champions League final, Dortmund will opt for the slightly safer option of the 4-3-3, as many teams do in this position. Players like Julian Brandt and Ian Maatsen will come off the bench. How will Los Blancos line up for this occasion? Carlo Ancelotti has been incredibly diverse with his choices of formations and lineups this year, trusting his players to adapt to whatever he picks. Carlo will analyse the BVB playstyle and take his pick. For me, this pick is going to be matching them in the 4-3-3, with Jude Bellingham occupying more of a false 9 position, allowing for killer runs to be made by Vinicius and Rodrigo. Bellingham is going to do everything in his power to be the centre point, the vector of the game, and playing the slightly deeper false 9 position will give him his best shot at that. But will Dortmund allow this to happen? No, definitely not. Dortmund will use players like Can and especially Mats Hummels to effectively mark him out of the game, just as we saw against Manchester City and Bayern Munich. A very popular passage of play for Borussia Dortmund this year has been switches of the play. Here we see a great switch is played to Jadon Sancho. BVB players immediately swarm the opposition penalty area as Sancho closes in with incredibly fast feet and cuts the ball back for Marco Reus, who hits the crossbar. This is a passage of play we will likely see deployed against Los Blancos. Another great Dortmund move pulled against Bayern earlier this season are clinical counter-attacks. The specialist, the centre point of these attacks, Julian Brandt. Here we see Füllkrug has dropped deep into the midfield to receive the ball and is able to, as Bayern are way outnumbered in midfield. He then plays the ball to Brandt, who tears towards goal before playing a brilliant ball to Adeyemi, who finishes off the attack. This is going to be very tough to pull against Los Blancos because players like Reus and Modric will never leave the midfield uncontested. Hence, I don't think Dortmund will be able to exploit Madrid on the counter-attack, and I don't think they will be looking to either, which is another reason they will opt for the 4-3-3. Check out this brilliant Madrid goal. The ball is played to Reus, who is in acres of space, and instantly switches the play to Valverde. Valverde waits for the Alaves striker, responsible for pressing Reus, to drop into the defensive line, before playing it back to Toni Kroos, who now has enough space to look up and playing an amazing ball into Bellingham, who attempts to cross it into the box, but scores instead. A brilliant Madrid move. But Dortmund are not going to simply sit back and fall for tricks like these. The final verdict. Who will be champions of Europe 2024? Both teams are going to line up in a 4-3-3. Jude Bellingham will likely struggle to completely run the game, and Dortmund will struggle to utilise counter-attacks. The game, in my opinion, is going to be very scrappy. The only goal is going to come from a Mats Hummels header off a corner in the 63rd minute. Very similar to the semi-final. Borussia Dortmund will be champions of Europe. If you enjoyed or found this video helpful, make sure to subscribe to Football Analysed. I will be posting high-quality football analysis every single Monday, Wednesday and Friday. I'll see you guys in the next one.